Morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever this is. This is Tanks and Tutties, presented by Tubbs and Franke. That might have been an all-time record for longest intro.
I was going to say, I didn't know you had that in you.
Yep, I've got the capacity. This week should be a shorter episode, nothing truly crazy going on. We're going to do our weekend recap as always, Locks and Longshots, and college football and NFL talk. We actually do have a little bit of MLB to go over, but nothing insane. Playoffs are coming up, so that'll be coming back a little bit. We did drop the grid, and it sucks because today it had the Lions on it, and I got 9 out of 9 at work. So it could have been a possible 9 for 9, but that's okay. That's all right. We'll pick that back up in the offseason.
Not going to lie, I haven't done any of the grids in a while.
And then we're going to hit roulette, send you on your way. So let's get started. Frankie, how was your weekend?
Pretty much the same as last weekend. I really did not do much. Saturday we had no plans, so I watched college football most of the day. The college football slate wasn't great this week. Luckily, Wisconsin played at 11 a.m. Central Time, and then there was a decent mid-afternoon game. I don't remember which one, so I watched that. And then Tennessee played later, as well as somebody else, and then Colorado was on late. So I kind of just watched like a couple games throughout the day, kind of spread them out. Really didn't do much other than that. Paige was busy during the afternoon. And then Sunday, I got to plop down, watched my football. I was actually up early. We had to get some groceries. I don't know if you've ever done this, but Kroger here we don't have Meijer here. We have Kroger. And Kroger does Kroger pickup. So we ordered Saturday night, our pickup order, and then ordered it for like 10:30 pickup Sunday morning. Got up nice and early, went and got some fresh donuts, drove to Kroger, which is literally directly across the street from the donut shop, pulled in, told them we were there. A minute later, they came out, loaded up our car. We were done grocery shopping and home with everything put away by 11 o'clock in the morning. It was great. It's free. And then, made some soup. We started Soup Sundays, which is honestly a pretty great idea because it's real quick and you just kind of let it cook all day, and then you have a nice tasty meal while you're watching football. You don't have to do any work. So we did that, watched football all Sunday, gambled like crazy on football, and it was a great Sunday. So, yeah, how was your weekend?
Before I get into mine, I've never done the pickup, but from hearing how yours went, I needed to start doing it because I am not a fan of grocery shopping. It's so annoying. I don't find joy in it. I know exactly what I need. It just takes up time to go get it. So I might have to start doing that. But I shop at Aldi, so I don't think they have that option.
Aldi's pretty good. But with the pickup, too, like you're not like wandering through the store and just picking out random things. Like you see it and you're like, ooh, I want that. Like you can literally just get exactly what you need. Saves you money. It's cheap, or not cheaper, but it's quicker. It's great.
Yep. My weekend was pretty good, man. It was jam-packed. Let's see, Friday. Oh, my gosh. I always do this. Like, I have such a jam-packed weekend that I can't remember what I did. Friday. Oh, Friday I went to X Golf. That was a blast. I shot an 85 at X Golf, which is my best ever there.
That's crazy because I always shoot worse at X Golf by about 10 times.
Mine is too. It's not that bad, but it's usually worse. But my game in real life too has been better lately. The only main difference I realized though is that at X Golf I stick greens like nobody's business, and in real life that's not the case because I don't have any spin on the ball. So, but Sid and I went there. That was a blast. Came home. I think we kind of just hung out, and then Saturday. No, I know what I did Saturday. Went to Franke with Sid. It was kind of a delayed birthday present. It was a good time. Perfect weather, too. I want to say it was like 75 and cloudy. I was wearing jeans, and I wasn't dripping in sweat. Hit some of those shops there. Then we had dinner/lunch. I think it was more of a lunch. Out on the patio at this restaurant called Tiffany's. Great pizza. I don't know if you like your pizza where the toppings are under the cheese, but I found out I'm a big fan because you don't lose your toppings falling off all the time.
So you didn't get breakfast at Tiffany's?
Good one. No, they don't serve breakfast. But the patio, they had a sign too. It even said it was like warning bees, and we had bees flying all over us throughout the whole meal. But they never stung us, but it was annoying having to like sit and freeze. I don't know if you're a freezer when there's a bee, but I'm a sit still, and then if it doesn't leave, I swat at it. But never got stung, so that was good. And then came home, swung by my parents because my grandma was in town. So we watched a little bit of the Michigan game there, came home, watched the rest of the Michigan game, and then just kind of watched Colorado, went to bed. And then Sunday, I was in a golf outing. So I got to golf at X Golf on Friday with Sid, and then golf outing on Sunday was awesome. The only shitty thing is that, I know you're listening, Dennis. He told me that we started at 9. Shotgun start at 9, so I get there like 8:15 so I can check in, maybe hit the range, grab some drinks. Took a poop right when I got there. And then turns out we didn't start till 10. So now I'm an hour and 45 minutes early. He was too, luckily.
Jesus.
He was too, so luckily he had to deal with it like me. We went to the range, and then we just kind of talked to some people, got some drinks, kind of talked to each other, I guess, even though we saw each other on Saturday. But nobody wants to be an hour and 45 minutes early. It was stupid. But, man,
that's very early.
I was hitting my clubs very well. We shot 8 under as a team, which was pretty good. And then we had the Lions game out on the cart. Obviously, that game didn't go well. We'll get into that. Watch the rest in the clubhouse. We had a steak dinner, so that was dope. And then shout out to my dad, though, too. He chipped in for Eagle on a par 5. Pretty impressive. It wasn't his tee shot. It was one of our teammates. But then it was his approach shot right on the fringe, and then he chipped it in, a little 7-iron bump and run, so that was cool. Came home Sunday, just kind of watched some football, and then that's about it. Got into the week. So
I forgot a major part of my Saturday.
Go ahead.
So Paige had physio ball, which is basically just like a dance for the physical therapy program. So we got all dressed up, went to dinner, and then this rooftop bar downtown Memphis, which is pretty cool. It was definitely expensive for drinks, which I probably wouldn't go back there again. And then we went to the dance and everything, and they played Rocky Top and Dixieland Delight. And let me tell you, that's a whole different thing down here. Like, you think it's a great song, just wait until you get till you get around a bunch of like volunteer fans. That shit goes crazy. But they had drinks
Rocky
and everything
Top
there. That was awesome. Both.
Rocky Top or Dixieland? Do they change the words to Dixieland Delight? Because isn't one of the songs "Fuck Tennessee" too?
Yeah. So there is a Tennessee version, and I guess like the song is originally a Tennessee song, and it just kind of somehow evolved to be a Bama song.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about that, but yeah, there are some different lyrics for Tennessee. So
I'll have to look that up. Locks and Longshots. 39-35 on my locks now. Wisconsin over 8.5 wins. Still waiting on it. Not going to mark that a loss until they do get the loss that determines they won't get 9 wins. What's that? 3 losses? They've only got 1 right now, right? Just Washington State?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still fine. They'll probably lose to Illinois this Friday, though. Or no, they have Purdue, right?
Purdue this week. That's a dub.
Yeah, that's a dub. So last week we had the Lions minus 5.5. That didn't hit. Clearly they lost. But then we had the under 51 in Chiefs and Jags. That was a W. So we split there on the locks. Excuse me. This week, I was watching the Colorado State game on Saturday. I watched most of it. That game went late, though, and I had to be up early for golf, so I didn't get to watch the finish. Unfortunately, it looked like a great game when I watched the highlights. But Colorado obviously lost Travis Hunter. We'll get into that. And I just, like, I'm not hating on Colorado anymore. That was impressive how they pulled out the win on Saturday. But Oregon looks great, and now Colorado's missing their second best/best player. So I'm going to ride with Oregon minus 21 against Colorado. This has jumped tremendously. I think it opened at like 16.5, but I think Oregon could win by 3 scores, no problem. I've got a second lock as well. Also, just want to mention that betting Colorado games this year, I had TCU, or I had nothing week 1. And then I had Nebraska week 2. And then last week I finally took Colorado, and they didn't cover. So basically when it comes to Colorado, you should fade me. So everybody should be taking Colorado plus 21 right now. And then my second lock, Ole Miss plus 7 against Bama. Bama obviously looked atrocious last week. They don't have a quarterback. Nick Saban's about checked out. I don't even know how Ole Miss looks, but I'm just riding with against Alabama. So give me 7 points there at minus 112. Hopefully we can get up into the 40s on our locks. Long shots, 26, 45, and 1. I'm still waiting on Gibbs, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Probably not going to hit because the Lions don't want to use the guy they traded up for, which is interesting, but maybe they'll be forced to now. Last week, MSU Moneyline, horrible loss. They weren't even, they're not even a team anymore. They should drop down to Division II. But Castellanos' home run the day after 9/11, that hit. So there's a dub there. That was a pretty big hit. What was that?
That was a blast, too. Not like a nuke of a home run, but it was so much fun to ride.
Yep, because we all took it in the group chat, and then
and then we talked about how bad of a matchup it was too.
Yeah, yep, because it was, who was it? It wasn't Strider. It
Freed.
was, Freed. There you go. Yeah, and it was his first AB, second inning, no sweat at all, just Oppo Guapo 390. I also had Gibbs anytime touchdown. That didn't hit. So this week though, got a little parlay. I'm kind of staying away from NFL for a second just because I've been so bad. We're going to take Utah and UCLA over 51. We're going to parlay that with Nebraska versus Louisiana Tech over 47.5. The only reason on the Utah-UCLA is that I watched UCLA play. I don't even remember, but they put up a lot of points. So I was like, I like that over. 51 points is easy. And then Nebraska's defense, they're good, but they give up 21 points a game. So give me 21 points from Louisiana Tech, and then Nebraska just got to score 30 for the over. I think that'll hit. So plus 261 there. We'll give it a shot. Your locks and long shots.
Yeah, so I had a pretty good week on my locks. I went 2-1. I had the Eagles-Vikings Thursday night under 48.5. Honestly, this looked good through like the first half of the game, and then it turned to a shootout. Primetime unders are still back other than the Eagles, I guess. So loss on that one. We had the Dolphins -2. That was a dub. That helped out Jake a lot, actually, which you did not talk about. I'm kind of shocked. And then I had
shit.
And then I had Washington -16.5 against MSU. That was a dub. They blew them out of the water. I'm 23, 27, and 1. I also have Wisconsin over 8.5 wins still open. I'm going big this week on both the locks and the long shots. I love both the college slate and the NFL slate this week. I'm adding, so for the locks, I'm going Notre Dame +3. I don't think OSU looked that good. Yes, they did put up a shit ton of points this last week, but I think Notre Dame has played a far more competitive schedule so far. And I'm not going to lie, I started a spreadsheet. I kind of talked about it. It wasn't good last week, but it does have Notre Dame winning this game by like a point. So that just kind of backed up my reasoning. I'm also taking Colorado-Oregon over 71. Colorado puts up a ton of points. Oregon puts up a ton of points. I think this is going to be a shootout. I'm pretty sure it's a late night game. I'm also pretty sure I have Pac-12 after dark overs on my do not bet list, but I'm still going to take it anyways. I don't really give a shit. This feels like
you do.
It has to hit. Yep. Chargers +1.5 at the Vikings this week. I don't think the Vikings are good. I think the Chargers always start out slow the first 2 weeks, so I think week 3 is a big coming out week, especially after they had a good performance last week. Their defense just wasn't good. I think the Vikings defense is terrible, and I don't think it'll be able to stop the Chargers even if Eckler doesn't play. And then Bills -6.5 against the Commanders. I think the Bills are also picking it up. I don't think the Commanders are real, and even though it's on the road, I'm not going to bet against the Bills. So give me a touchdown at that game. I will take it 100%. Long shots.
Before you do your long shots, can I talk about that parlay?
Yes.
So, as Austin mentioned there, Dolphins -2 helped me out a lot. So I got home from golf on Sunday, and I had no bets out because I was golfing. And I was like, let me just live bet the entire slate and see what happens. So I had a $10 free bet, and I took over 55.5 in Giants-Cardinals. That one was a bit of a sweat, but luckily the Giants got the touchdown to tie it, so that put it at 56. Easy one there. Cowboys minus 13.5. That one was a sweat as well down the stretch because the Cowboys kept kicking field goals, but as we know, it hit. And then Commanders plus 8.5. That was the least sweaty one because they had a 35-28 lead, and there was like a minute left. So I'm like, okay, even if the Broncos score and then get the onside kick or go to overtime, like it's hitting. And then I had 49ers plus 1.5 when they were down to the Rams, and they ended up winning that game by 7. And then my last leg was Dolphins minus 2.5. So my thought process was I'm going to bet this and then just cash out whatever before the Dolphins game if it gives me anything. Didn't have a great Sunday. And then I started tweaking, blowing up the group chat. What do I do? I ended up deciding to hedge with Patriots plus 2.5. So the way it turned out is so it was a plus 2,500 parlay. No, sorry. Where'd it go? Plus 4,000 parlay. And I would have profited big time, obviously, if that hit alone. But I didn't want to sweat. So I took the Patriots and I hedged out. Basically, I was either going to make, what was it, Frankie, $100 or $300?
Yes.
Something like that. So then the Dolphins ended up covering, so I made the 300 instead of the 100. So that was a great Sunday hit for me. I don't recommend this. I do this a lot, and it doesn't work out. I just had the free $10 bet, and I said, fuck it. So your long shots.
Well, I also want to give a shout out to our friend Javi, who hit a 25-leg parlay this weekend. Side note, the 25-leg parlay was plus 175.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck you get a 25-leg parlay at plus 175. That should not be possible. But hey, you hit 25 games. That's impressive. So
I want to see if
might have to start looking into that.
I
already have it.
The slip.
It was $10 for $17.59.
So wait, was it a free bet?
Yes.
Wait, where is it?
Just search the text for 25 legs, and you'll find it.
God, we threw out so many parlays.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, wait, here we go. So a couple that we can see here of the 25 legs. So we had Penn State money line, Wisconsin money line, Florida State money line almost lost the parlay. Boise State, Utah, Ball State, something. And that's all we see.
I'm pretty sure it was just a bunch of minus 4,000s and minus 10,000s, he said. So,
and that should never hit.
Well, I mean, if it's that big of favorites.
It almost didn't.
Yeah.
Florida State almost cost it. Sorry, go ahead with your long shots.
Long shots. I would like to say I'm catching up to even because I continue to hit some nice long shots. And then I just throw out some ones that look good, and they lose. So I'm 12-46. I went 1-1 last week. Lost the Jags money line to the Chiefs. They just did not have an offense that could operate. But against my own heart, I took Florida money line last week against Tennessee in the Swamp, and Florida killed them. Mm-hmm. Tennessee is dead. It was bad. But I did hit I did hit Florida's money line. Second week in a row, I've hit a nice sized plus money college football bet. I would like to formally put in a request that I take over the reins as the plus sign hunter because I also hit Giants money line when they were down 14 this weekend. And I've been shopping some pretty good plus odds lately.
Yeah.
So I would just like to put in that request.
You can be the plus sign marksman, but I'm still the plus sign hunter because of that parlay.
Okay, that's fine. We're the plus sign boys.
The marksman. Yeah, we're the plus sign squad.
Okay, that works. So this week, I got 4? Yeah, I got 4 of them. Like I said, I love the NFL slate. I love the college slate this weekend. There's a handful of really good college football games this week. Jake is on Oregon. So I, naturally, am on Colorado this weekend. I was going to take the plus 21. But I think being a Pac-12 game, being that both of these teams are going to score a shit ton of points, I'm going to take Colorado to keep it even closer than 21. I'm taking Colorado plus 13.5 at plus 190. I have no idea how this is going to play out. I especially don't know, considering that Colorado almost lost to Colorado State, and now they don't have Travis Hunter. We'll see. It's a dart on the board, though. I'm also taking MSU money line, and last weekend I took Washington, completely faded MSU. I think week 2 without Tuck, getting Mark D in there, and at home, who do they play? Maryland. Yeah, I mean, Maryland's not that great. I mean, they're okay.
They're
but
a lot better than MSU, though. This is the only long shot that you took that I hate. The rest I
It's another dart on the board. I'm okay with losing this one, honestly. I kind of just wanted to have that out there in case it's what you did last weekend. It's out there in case MSU does what nobody thinks they're going to do.
Yep.
I'm also on Notre Dame money line. I already talked about it with the Notre Dame plus 3. Think they might pull it out, especially at home. And then I'm on Ole Miss money line against Bama. Like you said, Bama did not look good. I don't know much about Ole Miss. I know their offense is really good. They have some sweet jerseys, and it's at Ole Miss, correct?
Yes. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm about to look right now because I was gonna say where it was when I mentioned my lock, but
I have it up in my spreadsheet. Actually, they are.
It is at Alabama.
Oh, okay. Yikes. That's tough, but we've seen teams take down Alabama at home before, so that's what I got.
Alabama was also, weren't they at home last week and they almost lost to like Tennessee Tech Institute? Never mind.
No, it was South Florida. Yeah.
Yep. I don't think Bama's going to do anything. They don't have a quarterback, so. Let's get moving because I wouldn't mind if we had a quick episode. I have a lot to do. I've got a wedding to go to this weekend, and it's in the UP. It's about an 8-hour drive. We are leaving Thursday night, but I still need to get a haircut, buy a dress shirt. What else do I need to do? Got to do a bunch of laundry. I need to make food for tomorrow still. I have nothing for my lunch, and I'm tired of buying food. And I decided, hey, I'm going to go golf tomorrow. So, like, what the hell? Like, it's my own fault, but it's all right. Not going to rush, though. College football, let's just start right here. Michigan, like, I don't want to say they didn't look good. I'll say that J.J. McCarthy didn't look good on Saturday. He threw 3 picks against Bowling Green. One of them I don't believe was his fault. It was tipped kind of perfect by the receiver. But there was one on the goal line. There was one on a screenplay. Like, it's just shit you can't be doing. They can't cover a spread. They can't hit an over. Michigan and Georgia have not covered a spread or hit an over yet this year in 3 games, which is insane to me. I'm officially done taking their spread at least. I didn't touch it last week, thank God. But it'll be interesting to see this week. We got Rutgers. It's our toughest opponent yet. Jim Harbaugh's not back yet. But Michigan just has not looked like Michigan. They bring in the backups pretty early still. I think they came in early fourth quarter. The other thing I wanted to mention about this game was there was a lot of injuries. So it started, I think, in the third quarter. Bowling Green's player went down. He was, like, totally unconscious. They brought out the cart. They brought out the board. And then they went to commercial. They came back, and a coach was getting put on the golf cart. And then there was one more player later in the game. It's like, what the hell is going on at the big house? So I'm not scared yet. I could be a Wisconsin fan, so things are brighter over here for Michigan fans. But it'll be scary when we get to that Penn State game. Even Michigan State, like if you throw 3 picks against Michigan State, especially Penn State, Ohio State, even like Nebraska, if we throw 3 picks on the road, we're going to lose that game. So JJ can't be doing that. Why don't you talk about Wisconsin?
Yeah, so Wisconsin did win this week. Beat Georgia Southern 35-14. I just want to show something to you and see if you can recognize what the problem is. So, First quarter, 0-0. Halftime, it's 7-7.
Yep,
Braylon
so
Allen.
there's already a problem right there. The problem there is that you were tied at halftime with Georgia fucking Southern.
Yep. So Braylon Allen gets his first touch midway through the second quarter. Going to halftime, tied 7-7. Third quarter, we outscored Georgia Southern 21-7. Braylon Allen leads the way through the third quarter. Fourth quarter,
2 touchdowns.
we win 7-0 and end up winning the game 35-14. So I don't know if you see a pattern there. We scored more points when our best running back, Braylon Allen, was involved in the game plan.
It's crazy how that works, isn't it?
Right? I don't really understand what Luke Fickell is doing. I know he talked to Braylon Allen and told him that we're gonna get him involved and everything, but this is now game 3 where Braylon Allen hasn't had the workhorse load and carries. And don't get me wrong, I said it last week. Chaz Malusi is good. He was just fine. 15 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown this week. But Braylon Allen didn't get a touch until midway through the second quarter. Still led the team in rushing yards. He went 12 carries, 94 yards for 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Something tells me that guy needs to be involved a little bit more.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I didn't watch this game, unfortunately, but I have no way to defend what Fickell is doing by not using a guy that could be in the Heisman conversation if he was just being used. I mean, 94 yards on 12 carries. Imagine if you gave him 20, 25.
He'd be running for 150 plus every game.
It's insane to me what they're doing.
Also, how much worse does the score look when I tell you that Georgia Southern had 5 interceptions?
Oh, wow.
And 1 fumble lost.
Yeah, that makes it look a lot worse. That game should be 70-10, or at least 56-7. But the backups came in halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah, I think college football, especially with getting transfers and everything, you'll see a lot of differences after 3 or 4 weeks, just compared to the first couple of weeks. So I'm hoping that when Wisconsin plays Purdue this week, in Purdue on Friday, that having 3 weeks under Tanner Mordecai's belt, Mordecai did look good. I mean, he only went 19 for 30, but he did throw for 236 yards, no touchdowns, but he's able to run the ball a little bit. He kind of can just make plays. I've said that he's risky, but having that 3 weeks under your belt with these guys now, plus training camp and getting to develop some chemistry, I think that this team might start making some strides in the next couple weeks, and hopefully Fickell starts to use Braylon Allen more as a workhorse. I don't mind there being a 60-40 split because Malusi is good, but Braylon Allen should still be getting that 60%, if not more. And I don't know, first half was very frustrating to watch of this game. I don't know. Oh, actually, I was going to say I don't know if we've covered a spread. That reminded me, Wisconsin fucked me in this game. I was on Georgia Southern plus 20 because I knew, or 20.5, because I knew that we couldn't cover a spread. Went into half 7-7. I felt great about this bet, only for Wisconsin to come out and outscore Georgia Southern 28-7 in the second half and win by 21 points. I lost my bet.
Cover the spread. Yep.
So, little frustrating.
How annoying is it that at one point Georgia Southern were favorited in this game?
It happens to the best of us,
I know it doesn't mean shit now because Wisconsin won, but when Georgia Southern went up 14-7, I'm looking at the ESPN win probability. They gave Georgia Southern a 55% chance to win when they went 14-7, about 3 minutes into the third there. You can't be.
I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely thought we were going to lose this game for a while.
Yeah,
which should have never crossed my mind.
It's just not a good look. Sorry, you caught me when I was taking a drink. Just not a good look. But they won. They covered. On to next week. When's Wisconsin's first tough game? Is it Ohio State? Is the first
week
tough
6, I believe. I think it's week 6 against Ohio State.
Purdue,
Rutgers. No, Iowa is week 6, actually.
Iowa will be tough, but I think
Wisconsin
at home will come out of there with a dub. Okay, so Ohio State. I'm going to throw this out there now. First of all, that's Halloween. Well, Halloween for grown-ups, so I will not be watching football that night. I'm assuming that'll get a night game, Wisconsin, Ohio State. I'm going to throw this out there now. Wisconsin's going to look like they're bad and struggle through their next few weeks, but they're only going to lose one game, and it would be Iowa, if any. And they're going to come out, and they're going to beat Ohio State, and they're going to look like what you were hoping they'd look like all year. And it's going to be like, where the fuck was this when we lost to Washington State? Just throwing it out
I
there.
really hope you're right.
They're going to utilize Braylon Allen. He's going to have 30 touches. They're just going to control the ground game. And you know what? I could be very wrong. I'm also throwing this out there because I love when Ohio State loses. But it is nice when Ohio State's only loss.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I can't be mad at Paul Christ anymore because he at least knew how to utilize Braylon Allen. So.
Yeah. Let's get going here. Colorado State, we kind of mentioned it. That game was probably the most chippy I've seen yet this year. Very obvious bad blood between those two teams. There was, I don't even know, I think I counted like 6 unsportsmanlike / late hits. The big one was on Travis Hunter. The ball was very clearly incomplete over his head, and the safety just came over and absolutely destroyed his chest. Kind of karma always comes back, though.
Did you see what he got diagnosed with?
No.
I believe it was a lacerated kidney.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. He probably broke a rib and it probably punctured something, you know?
Yeah, just...
So,
was
Karma
such
came
a
back
bad
and got
play.
that safety because he was the one that got beat for the game-tying touchdown to send it to overtime. I don't know if you saw that.
I was watching it. I didn't realize that's who it was, but...
The game was awesome, though. I mean, it was fun to watch. It was chippy. Shadir Sanders, though, dirty player. Did you see what he did?
No.
Poked the Colorado State player in the eyes.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Dude, it was after a pick or an incomplete pass, and the Colorado State player kind of got in his face talking a little bit, and he literally just reached inside his helmet and poked his eyes. And it was like, what the hell? They never showed it on the GameCast, though. I saw it on Twitter. So
Of course not.
Colorado, like, I'm hating them less because they're getting a lot of hate from other people, but
They are fun.
They're fun. They are fun to watch, but they are, what's the term here to not sound like an old head? They are undisciplined in terms of I hate how Sanders plays. Just some of the throws he makes and throwing off his back foot. But
Too flashy.
Maybe too flashy. Maybe that's my old head a little bit, but I don't know.
However you say it, you still sound like an old head, but...
Yeah. I don't know. I hate him less watching that game because the Nebraska game I was pissed because I had Nebraska. This game I had Colorado. It obviously didn't hit, but once I accepted it wasn't going to hit, I was entertained. It was a good game. It was chippy. So, hate him a little less.
Yeah,
I just want the hype to die down just a little bit. I mean, the Colorado State players and coaches were getting death threats. Like, dude, it's not that serious. The kid made a bad mistake. He got his emotions got in the way, and he hit him. Like, Travis Hunter, too, I feel like he doesn't talk a lot of shit. It's Shadir.
No, I feel like he's pretty respectable. Just like kind of lets his game do the talking, which it's hard not to when you are literally playing every snap of the game.
Right.
So,
but it's Shadir.
I will say,
and then the Colorado State players doing the Deion celebration, huh?
Yep. There goes my Heisman bet.
Yeah, 100%. You're done. But that's okay. Wasn't going to hit anyways.
Yeah.
But the Colorado State players doing the Deion celebration, and apparently Shadir's celebration where you point to the watch, I guess. I haven't really seen that one yet, but I saw it on Twitter. Badass, but now a bad look because you lost. But in the moment when they were up 14 and he hit the what did they call that? Was it the Dirty Bird?
Yes. Yep.
Hitting that against Deion like that is crazy, but you lost the game.
I have to point out, have you seen the glazing that ESPN is doing of Sanders recently?
Dude, they've been glazing him since the TCU game, dude.
So, well, no. So it's gotten to a whole new level. I saw this on Twitter today. They posted a graphic, and they said NFL teams that Deion played for and showed their current record, and they're all 2-0. And it was like, how the fuck does that affect anything? Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it just so I can know what you're talking about.
And I was just like, what? It was bad, but
you know, one thing I do respect
game.
about Dion though is I'm just looking at ESPN's Twitter right now. In a presser, he said that I can't listen to it because we're recording, but apparently he called for forgiveness for that safety that hit Travis Hunter. I'm assuming he's saying something like he's just a kid, he doesn't deserve death threats. I respect that. I'm trying to find this.
Yeah, that's. I don't think you'll find it on ESPN's.
I'll keep browsing while we're talking, and if I find it, I'll bring it up. But what else did we have? Florida State almost lost to Boston College. I can't say anything about this one. I wasn't able to watch it. I just saw that they only won by 2. Did you happen to watch any of that?
Which game?
Florida State, Boston College.
I watched the end of it. I had Florida State's spread, which is like minus 25.5, so.
Yikes. And then Georgia, South Carolina was up. They were up at half, correct?
I think it was tied 14-14 at half.
Yeah, and it was looking like South Carolina was going to get it done. Did you see the video of the guy that put $50 on Georgia money line to make 50 cents and the video of him sweating at halftime?
Oh God, no.
It was very clearly a Georgia student, and he's at some party and he's sitting on the curb with his head in his hands, and it's like dude's really sweating a 50-cent profit. Like, why would anybody ever do that? Like, I have made some dumb bets, but I would never throw $50 to make 50 cents. I mean, I can make more than that quicker by just going to pick change up from the ground.
Literally, it was 14-3 at half, by the way. South Carolina was up.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, all right.
Personally, like, outside of Michigan, I don't think, like, Georgia, obviously Bama, Texas, Ohio State, like, I don't feel sure about any of these teams. Even
I was gonna
Florida
bring that
State,
up.
like, I don't.
I was going to bring that up. There is no clear outright, this team is really good. Like, Georgia looked like shit. Ohio State looked bad week 1. Michigan has never looked good. Bama obviously lost and then almost lost to South Florida. And now Texas just looked like shit against Wyoming. Like, I think it makes for a much more fun season, though, the fact that we don't know who's going to be there at the end.
Yeah, I think it's going to be similar to the, not quite as insane, but similar to the, 2007 season, is it? Where there was, like, the record amount of number 1 teams.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I think that was 07 because Michigan lost to Appalachian State that year. And then West Virginia was ranked, like, 1 at the end of it, and they lost to, like, Virginia Tech or something. And they would have been, like, 30-point favorites in today's world or whatever. So,
yeah.
I think, honestly, the best team right now that is the most consistent is either USC or Washington, right? I know Washington has looked awesome. That's the only thing.
I mean, Oregon's
looked good, yep. About to find out this
week.
Wait,
so all those teams are in what conference again?
The Pac-12, but here's my point.
Oh.
They gotta beat up on each other.
That's crazy.
Oh, I forgot to mention something about Colorado. They stormed the field. The field.
Saw that. Honestly,
So dumb.
I don't hate it.
Dude, they stormed the field as a 24-point favorite.
Yeah,
What?
but, like, if it's there was a lot of talk on that game. Like, it was hyped up. Everyone knew it was supposed to be closer than it actually was, than the actual lines were.
No.
Other than you, apparently, because you took Colorado.
80% of bets were on Colorado.
I mean, I was on
You
Colorado
cannot
State,
tell me
but
people thought that was going to be a close game. The majority of people, sorry.
Regardless, it was still a big game, and there was a lot of emotion behind it. Like,
dude, it'd be like if Michigan stormed the field after they beat Michigan State this year.
I'd respect it. It's fine.
No fucking way. You would light me up. You'd be like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. You stormed the field of a coach.
I mean, I think it's a little bit different. I think it's a little bit different for a team like Colorado who has all this hype after never being good to all of a sudden be good.
Whoa, not never being good.
I think it's different. Well, it hasn't been good for a long time.
Oh, I found the tweet. Coach Prime's former NFL teams weeks 1 and 2 this season. Falcons 2-0, Niners 2-0, Cowboys 2-0, Washington 2-0, Ravens 2-0. And this guy said, how much can we ride Deion Sanders? And then it says, ESPN, hold my beer.
Yes. Yep.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. No correlation.
It literally has, I was going to say, literally none.
I think we only got one more point here. You already kind of talked about it. Tennessee frauds, Joe Milton trash. Glad you can finally admit it.
I didn't watch this game. Honestly, looking at the box score, Joe Milton didn't sound like he was that bad. 20 for 34, 287, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Graham Mertz was 19 for 24 for 166 yards and a touchdown. The biggest issue was that Tennessee let Trevor Etienne, Travis's brother, run for 172 yards and a touchdown. So,
And Joe Milton, I watched a little bit of this. Every time they got near the red zone, he would just fall apart, and it would be field goal. I think they missed a field goal, too. What was the other one?
It just sucks that Graham Mertz, of all people, was the person to beat fucking Tennessee.
Yeah, but he didn't look good, though. Don't let it fool you. He did not look good.
19 for 24. It's only 5 incompletions. He did what he was needed to do.
Yeah, but that's not an impressive stat. I need to close this out. I keep reading Twitter. There's so much good shit about Deion Glazing. So I think that's the end of our college football, correct? This week's college football slate is fucking awesome. Let me read through the big games just so you guys know what to look out for. Maybe we'll throw out a couple predictions quick. So Michigan plays Rutgers. That's probably the biggest game of the week. I'm just kidding. Florida State, Clemson might be sneaky good. Florida State's only -2.5. It's at Clemson. They could also win this game by 50. Who knows? Then you got Colorado, Oregon. It's at 3:30. Not a Pac-12 at night game, by the way. Utah, UCLA at 3:30. That's another ranked game. Ole Miss, Bama will be good. And then there's 2 more, I think. Oregon State, Washington State.
Duke,
Texas
UConn,
and Baylor.
it's okay. Miami, Temple, that's okay.
Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Oklahoma, Cincy. Yep.
Oh, and then I wanted to talk about this. Iowa, Penn State. I'm excited because it's the first time Iowa will be tested. It's at Penn State, and I think Cade McNamara is going to get exposed. I don't hate
It's
Cade.
a night game, so it's going to be whiteout, too.
Yeah, that game's going to be sweet to watch just for the whiteout, and I think Penn State rolls. They're -14.5. I would take that spread. I'm actually going to add it as a lock. Give me Penn State -14.5 added to my locks.
I'm not touching it just in case Iowa's defense locks them down. But
no, dude. It's also Penn State's first test because there's a lot of hype around Penn State, and they haven't really had to prove it yet, so we'll see. They played Illinois.
Are you sure you want to add that to your locks?
100%. They played Illinois last week, and I believe they didn't even look that good. Let me see real quick. 30-13 on the road isn't too bad. Big Ten play. Let's see. Their quarterback, horrible. 16 for 33, 208 yards. I think their big thing, though, is the run game. They got 2 running backs. They're sophomores now. They're freshmen last year. I think the hype's there, so give me that 14.5. All righty. NFL. I do have my first Lions rant of the season. I'm not going to yell. This is more of just a strictly frustration thing. So let's start with Sunday, right? The Lions looked pretty good all game. And the defense got maybe 1 stop in the first half, I think. But the Lions offense was cruising. And then Geno Smith just decided, like, the Lions defense made Geno Smith look like Mike Vick before he got busted, when he still had his pit bulls. It was insane. Like, they were just getting cooked. And then the injuries, man. Montgomery, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I'll get to those in a second, actually. Got to go back. And then, like, I did the same thing last year, and I regretted it, so I'm going to tone it down. But Dan Campbell, sometimes you can kick a field goal, man. You don't have to go for every single 4th down. We know you've got the nuts, and it's worked out. But don't let it become a thing where this is like you're just going to go for it. Riley Patterson's a good kicker. He can make field goals. I saw a stat. We had 2 4th downs. We got stopped. If we kick the field goals, we win the game. Also, Jared Goff, horrible pick 6. Just a god-awful, horrible first mistake of the season for him. I think it was his first pick in like almost 400 attempts. But we also just cannot beat the fucking Seahawks. I don't know what it is. 4 years in a row now, the Seahawks have beat us. Goddamn Pete Carroll chewing his stupid-ass gum on the sideline. The game even went to overtime. The defense got a big stop late. Anzalone got a sack on the longest play, I think, ever in the history of the NFL. Geno ran around for like 30 seconds. And you know what? I think the real reason that we lost this game is that my dad's Anzalone jersey came in and he didn't wear it. So.
Oh, 100%.
But
you got to support the boys.
It's my fault, though, because I told him he didn't have to. We were at a golf outing. I felt like it would be weird. I should have made him put it on as soon as we were done, though, sitting inside watching the game. I should have. But that's okay.
Well, he's got to wear it this week, though.
Huh?
He's got to wear it this week, then.
Yep, he's got to wear it every week here on out. We're also going to Lions versus the Panthers on October 8th. So keep an eye on the crowd. Look for the only guy in an Anzalone jersey. That'll be me and my dad. It's going to be fucking awesome. I get to wear his Hutchinson jersey. Can't wait. But back to being sad Lions fan. It was announced today, C.J. Gardner-Johnson out for the season, probably. Montgomery's missing a few weeks. We're not utilizing Gibbs at all. I get that you're like, we've had some injury history with Swift, but motherfucker, you traded up for this guy, and he has shown you that he is good. Let him loose. Now that Montgomery's out 3-4 weeks, hopefully we'll actually use him. It's insane, dude. And then you got CJ's out. Who am I missing? Taylor Decker's hurt. There was one more. Oh, James Houston. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. So that's cool. And then, honestly, like, our pass rush is just nothing. We have no pass rush. It's ridiculous. We don't blitz because it won't help because the pass rush isn't doing anything on their own. We don't have anybody to cover. Our defense is still bad. The offense, I believe in it. Oh, and then, yeah, Jameson Williams, he's a bust. He's got a fucking gambling problem, so he's just sitting on the sidelines. I noticed, too, that when the pass rush isn't getting to the quarterback, I start to get frustrated with Hutchinson, which isn't fair because he's a great player. But all the time I'll notice that he is just spinning. And I'm like, stop fucking spinning. Do a swim move or something and get to the quarterback. And I need to chill.
I do feel like that's his only move.
I know. If you watch for it, and I'm cursed now because I've noticed it. If you watch for it, all he does is that spin. And it works maybe 1 out of 10 times. And it's just like, dude, try something different. But we're 1-1. We're not 0-2. We're 1-1. We beat the Chiefs. This was a close game. This week we've got the Falcons. The Packers just lost to the Falcons. I'm going to let you talk about that in a second. So hopefully we finish this. Hopefully we get a dub this week against the Falcons. If we lose to the Falcons, I will probably be on here next week, full rage, depending on how the game is. If it's close, I might keep it nice like this. But if it's like we somehow lose by double digits to the Falcons at home, yeah, I'm going to be upset. So, your Packers. Tell me about that game.
Yeah. First off, I want to start by pointing out that David Bakhtiari did not play because this game was on turf. So he sat out.
That's smart. However, that is the all-time like letting your team down.
Yeah, I wasn't very excited to hear that. Christian Watson was out. Aaron Jones was out. A.J. Dillon, not the guy. He cannot run through his O-line. He literally trips and falls over his own O-line. He also just doesn't have any moves other than trying to run people over, which every once in a while, yes, it works, but should not be a go-to move. Love didn't look bad. Again, he did look okay. I mean, we had this game in control through the third quarter and then lost it in the fourth quarter. Joe Barry is the main reason we lost this. That's our defensive coordinator. He decided that we should have Devondre Campbell, a linebacker, playing man-to-man on Bijan Robinson when he's out wide, which does not work. He also decided not to press wide receivers at the line and decided specifically there was it was either third or fourth down and like 4 yards. And Bijan was lined up wide outside, and we gave him 10 yards of space with a linebacker on him. That just does not work. You cannot be doing that. Don't get me wrong, Devondre Campbell, good player. He had 14 total tackles in this game, which great for him. That's a great game. But our defensive system has just not been working like the last 2 years. And I said it at the beginning of the year, if our defense could play the way it did the second half of last year, things would be great. No, we have reverted back to exactly how we started last year. And it is a problem. You cannot be having linebackers playing man-to-man on some of the best players, not only on these teams, but in the league. Like, it just doesn't work. You have Darnell Savage. You have Jair Alexander. You have Rasul Douglas. Like, put your all-pro fucking safeties and all-pro cornerbacks on these guys. It doesn't make sense to me. I think next week we most likely get Watson back. I think we potentially get Aaron Jones back. I don't think that we're playing on turf, so Bakhtiari should be playing. I think next week's going to be a completely different game. Love has led the team for the first 2 weeks and has looked great. I'm not worried about Love at all. Granted, he didn't put up a ton of yards this week, but he also didn't need to. He was efficient. Fun fact, Jordan Love leads the league in passer rating through the first 2 weeks. Pretty dope. I don't know. We need to fix the defense. That's my biggest thing with them. Question.
Well, first of all, I want to say not a bad loss because you were missing arguably your two best players in Watson and Jones. But I wanted to ask, is Jaden Reed wide receiver 2 there, or is it still Dobbs?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I like Reed because he can play multiple different positions. Mm-hmm. He's shown that he's got the sure hands, and Love likes him a lot. Based on snaps, he's still wide receiver 3. I don't think it matters regardless. I think Watson's going to be your number 1 regardless. Right. I think having a toss-up in 2 or 3 isn't a bad thing. It's more like 2A and 2B than it is 3A and 3B, which is kind of nice. Like we saw this week, if Jones is injured and Dillon's not doing it, then, hey, look, Jaden Reed can step in there. So I don't mind that. I honestly couldn't tell you who was 1A or 2A and 2B, but I like it, so... Musgrave not getting used this week was also kind of weird. He was used a lot week 1, and he only saw 3 targets and also lost out on some snaps, which I don't really understand because he was good in week 1. So,
yeah, I think Jaden Reed was a great ad for you guys in the draft, and I think you'll be all right. I'm a little upset that Jordan Love has not looked like shit. I'm kind of waiting for that to come, but maybe I'll just have to wait till Thursday night against the Lions. So I think that's in 2 weeks, right? It's a big game.
First time he plays Thanksgiving, isn't
it? Thursday night before
Thanksgiving. No. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yep. So that's a big game. That's a big game. You have to stay up late for that one. All right, let's do the rest of these here. Not really a lot of crazy news. I feel like it was a pretty open and shut Sunday football day.
Other than the injuries.
Other than injuries, yep. Justin Fields, he's not the guy, man. I believe it was said on Pardon My Take that he is waiting for his receivers to get Ohio State level open, and that's just not the case in the NFL. And there was a couple times I saw some highlights where he drops back, pressure's coming, and instead of running outside, possibly throwing the ball away or running for a gain, he runs right through the middle of his line and gets sacked for a loss. Just not looking good.
I also think he is literally trying to throw the ball as little as possible and just trying to run. Because, I know you saw the video too. Everyone saw the video where the play is going and there's 4 guys pressuring. There's a wide open hole in the middle of the line. 2 of his wide receivers are wide open on the left. 1 guy on the left is coming across. He's wide open. He pump fakes to both of the receivers on the right when mind you, they are wide open, does not throw, and then tries to run and the pocket collapses on him.
Yep.
So I think I don't mind because it's the Bears and fuck the Bears. But yeah, I think he's trying to run too much. And I think if the Bears want any success, Fields needs to throw more and quicker.
They even, the Bears got him some weapons. He had arguably no weapons last year. And they went and got him DJ Moore. And DJ Moore is a very good wide receiver. and I'm sure he's open, and Justin Fields just isn't doing it. So
Yep.
he's still a decent fantasy football quarterback. Week 1, he put up 27. He had 12 last week. Not great, but he's just that's all he is a good fantasy football quarterback, not a real good quarterback. It's hilarious, too, looking back. He was the most bet MVP player in, like, July. I saw a tweet today. Somebody resurfaced it.
Well, it's the second-year breakout, so.
Yeah, well, not looking like it right now. We had 2 big comebacks on Sunday. The Giants over the Cards. They were down 28-0. They came back and won 31-28. That was by design. The Cardinals want to get Caleb Williams. I am going to throw this out there right now. We probably won't remember it, but it's kind of funny to think about. Cardinals lose out. They go 0-17, whatever. Caleb Williams goes back to college. How hilarious would that be?
I mean, I could see it. I don't know.
I don't
think the Cardinals is a bad organization for him, honestly.
I also, honestly, dude, Josh Dobbs, not god-awful.
Not as bad as we think he is.
Yeah, he's not. I don't want him
on
my team.
He's been a serviceable backup his entire career.
Exactly. He's been a good backup. He made some plays. Obviously, he got him up 28-0, and then, didn't move the ball anymore, but thanks, man. And then, But yeah,
if a quarterback can spot you a 28-point lead, you probably shouldn't lose that.
Right, I agree. And then the Commanders came back over the Broncos. I don't know what that margin was. I think it was like 18 points they were down at one point. Broncos, though, huge Hail Mary ended the game. It was awesome. Russell Wilson threw this thing up. It looked like he threw it way too high. It was going to be short, but it got tipped 2-3 times and then was caught. And then on the 2-point conversion, they didn't get it to send it to overtime. I thought there should have been pass interference. What did you think?
Yeah, I saw it. It was 100% a pass interference. I
think so too.
It feels like there's been a lot of missed calls the first 2 weeks already.
Yeah, and honestly, surprising they didn't throw the flag in Denver.
Yeah,
I feel like home field advantage there gets you a flag 9 out of 10 times, but maybe I'm wrong. What else did we miss? Cowboys rolled again. The Jets are done. I'm just going to kind of run through ESPN quick here. I was going basically.
Yeah, I'll mention this later, but Zach Wilson, not the guy.
Okay. Let's see. Week 2. So we already talked about Eagles rolled against the Vikings. Well, not necessarily rolled. Vikings almost came back. Bills rolled against the Raiders. Don't talk there. Ravens beat the Bengals. Joe Burrow, bad or just injured?
No, just injured.
I agree.
Yeah, there's not much more to say about it.
Yep. Chiefs and Jags, boring game. Chiefs come out on top. Chargers
should have been a way better game.
Should have been, but glad it wasn't. I had the under. Chargers Titans, surprising. Titans win in overtime. DeAndre Hopkins does nothing. What was his stats actually? The only reason I'm upset about this is I traded for him in fantasy, and now I look like an idiot. 4 catches for 40 yards.
He only had 5 targets. Mind you, Tannehill only threw 24 times. So.
Tannehill is ass. I traded for Hopkins before he was on a team. I gambled. It didn't pay off. It looked like he was maybe going to go to the Browns, and I was going to keep Deshaun Watson on my team. Didn't work out. Titans win. Chargers, broken or just warming
up? Just warming up. O-line is bad. Defense is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Offense is still great. They also didn't have Eckler. And Joshua Kelly, who went off week 1, I picked him up this week for fantasy, started him.
Nothing.
Did not do shit.
Yeah. Let's see. Packers, Falcons we talked about. Lions we talked about. Colts beat the Texans. Boring game there. Pretty much what everybody expected. They won. Who was their quarterback, though, with Richardson out?
Gardner Minshew.
That's right.
Yeah. So, 2 things about this game. One, Anthony Richardson is legit. He is so good. Little bit worried about how he plays just because he does run so often and he is very irresponsible when it comes to running, I think you could say.
Mm-hmm.
He does not go down for anything. He will take a hit no matter what. He needs to learn. Hopefully this concussion helps him learn. Second point, CJ Stroud, legit. Nico Collins, legit. I want to double down on my take that the Texans will be at least a 500 team this year.
You can double down, but not without a defense, man.
I don't care. CJ Stroud threw 47 times this game, and he threw for 384 yards.
Nico
Collins and Tank Dell are both really good. Robert Woods is also good.
Who did they play their first game? The Ravens. How did he look in the first game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
I'm telling you, yeah, pretty bad. 28 for 44, 242 yards. That's pretty bad.
That's game one as a rookie.
You know
though.
what? I'm gonna double. No, I'm not gonna double down. I'm gonna throw out my take. The Texans will not win more than. I'll say 3 games, because C.J. Stroud is an indoor quarterback. Luckily, their home stadium's indoors. But that defense is just so bad that he's not going to be able to. He's got to put up probably 40 points to win a game. So I'm going to say
I already see 3 games that they're going to win.
Let's go through real fast. Who do you see them winning?
So they have the Jags next week. That's a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up, first win at the Panthers in week 7.
Yep, I could see that. Panthers don't look good.
Week 10 against the Cardinals.
Yep, Cardinals are tanking.
Week 12 against the Broncos, maybe.
No,
Week 13
I feel like,
against the Jets.
I feel like the Broncos, that Jets game's going to be gross. That could be a win. I said more than 3. They don't beat the Broncos, though. I think they're going to figure it out eventually.
And then beat the Colts week 17.
Nope.
No, they have to split. They have to split.
Nope. Colts will be fighting for a playoff spot come that week. If Anthony Richardson can stay healthy. He is exciting. And I think I was a little bit of a hater. Not really a hater, but I didn't really have faith in him. All right, let's fly through the rest of these. What are we at for time, by the way? How are we doing?
An hour.
Oh, Jesus. Let's fly. Bucks beat the Bears. Nothing to say there. Justin Fields, not great. Talked about the Giants. 49ers looked scary against the Rams there, but they took control. Sean McVay, let's talk about him real quick. Kicking a field goal as time expires to cover the spread. Should there be an investigation?
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
He knew.
There should be an investigation into that one, I think.
Cam Akers, going to be traded. Puka Nacua, legit stud.
Puka Nacua is the shit. Holy moly. What does he have, 25 catches in 2 games?
Yeah, he had 20 targets this week.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
15 receptions for 147 yards. Mind you, he has not scored a touchdown yet.
To get open 20 times to get the ball thrown to you is ridiculous enough, but then to get 15 catches for 147, just ridiculous.
Yeah, I have him in a fantasy league, and people are trying to trade me for him. I don't know if I want to trade him, even though I'm stacked at wide receiver.
I wouldn't. Cowboys beat the Jets. Nothing to say there. Jets are going to be bad again because Zach Wilson sucks. Commanders beat the Broncos. We talked about that. Dolphins, I'd say they handled the Patriots. That game was never really a question, was it? I fell asleep, but it was never really close, was it?
No, not really. I mean, the fourth quarter got tight, but
a little bit. I mean, it was 24-17 with 5 left, I guess, but
yeah,
not really a sweat there. Saints and Panthers, boring game. Saints came out on top. Awesome catch from Chris Olave, though. Did you see that one?
I did not.
Chris Olave, you need to look this up. I'm surprised you haven't. It was the number 2 play on top 10 plays today.
Probably when I was watching the Steelers game.
Probably. Derek Carr just kind of lofted it up. Olave was getting held on his right arm. He tipped it up with his left hand and then reeled it in one-handed. Pretty nice catch. Saints win that game. And then the Steelers, 2 defensive touchdowns, beat the Browns. Deshaun Watson, not great. Could he warm up? I don't know. I hope so. I kept him in fantasy, so right now I look like an idiot. But it's okay. I got Jared Goff. I'm benching Deshaun Watson now. But, yeah, Steelers' defense might win them some games this year. Fuck, I mean, 2 defensive touchdowns?
Yep. Nick Chubb done for the year also. Gruesome leg injury.
Oh, yeah. Horrible injury.
Disgusting.
It was just announced Jamal Williams going to miss a couple weeks as well. 2 running back injuries on Monday night. But, yeah, that Nick Chubb injury, gross. Let's do Paige's picks really quick. Let's see records. By the way, Paige's record was wrong. Week 1, she was 8-8. I had all the records wrong, but I went back and fixed them. So currently, in first place, we got Austin at 19-13, Paige at 18-14, and me and Laz 17-15. I went 6-10 last week. Not good. We got to figure this out. Let's go. Paige's picks. Giants at the Niners.
Paige has 49ers. She said, I heard the Giants suck, which is true. Mm-hmm. I'm also on the Niners.
It was fun seeing the Giants come back the way they did, but it was the Cardinals. Give me the 49ers. Saints
especially without Saquon.
Huh?
Especially without Saquon.
Yep. Saints at the Packers.
Paige says, Packers lost last week. I put my faith into them. I feel like they're pretty good, though. I think the Saints are also good, too. That might be wrong, and Jake might roast my ass for that, but let's go with the Packers. I'm also on the Packers.
Yeah, Paige was being snappy this morning for some reason because I said she needs to watch more football or something. And I'm not going to roast her for that. The Saints aren't good, but they're not bad enough for me to make fun of her for that. So we'll see how that one turns out. I got the Packers as well, though. I think last week was a fluke. I think they're missing their two best players. Hopefully they get Jones or Watson back this week, and then they'll win that game. Because the Saints, Derek Carr is the most mid quarterback in the history of the NFL, other than maybe Jimmy G. Colts
yeah.
Oh, do you not agree?
No, I think that's a fair statement.
Okay. Colts at the Ravens.
Paige says, Ravens, mostly because they're purple and the Colts failed me week 1. I thought they were a good team, but I guess not. Where are they from? I told her Indianapolis. She said, oh, that's why. That fucking state sucks. I thought they were from California. So I'm taking the Ravens as well.
Yeah, I got the Ravens as well. I'm surprised, too. Well, maybe because she has to take them in this game, but she hated the Ravens last year, remember, because of that one chick named Raven or something?
Yes. Yep.
So, yeah, I got the Ravens. They look good. Colts without Richardson. Minshew sucks. So, Titans at the Browns.
Paige says, Titans for sure. I don't like the Browns. They're different from the Bears, right? What's their logo? And I told her it's a brown helmet, literally a brown helmet. She said, oh, yeah, they suck. So she's on the Titans. I'm also going to go the Titans. This is a get-one game for me. Chubb's gone. They look bad this week. Just going to roll the dice.
I struggled with this one, but I took the Browns week 1. They won. I took them last week. They lost. However, they gave up 2 defensive touchdowns. Their defense only gave up 12 points. I like the Browns' defense. Even without Chubb, I think they can pull this one out. Give me the Browns. Broncos at the Dolphins.
Paige said, what kind of question is this? We don't vote for Western here, but we do like the Dolphins. Shout out Jake for the Dolphin noises last week. Dolphins are winning the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I'm going to also take the Dolphins.
I think we're going to have to add that down at the bottom to Paige's Super Bowl picks. Go ahead. Can you throw in their Dolphins? I've got the Dolphins as well, though. They look good. Last week looks like they kind of fell off a bit, but they're still a good team. That offense is crazy.
Also, Waddle concussion.
Is he out?
Not for sure.
A lot of injuries, man. It sucks. I want to see all these guys on the field. I don't want to see people hurt, especially Chubb, who was like the steel horse that just you couldn't touch him, and now he just snaps his leg. Patriots at the Jets.
Paige really had to think about this one. She said, I don't like either of them, like, at all. I guess the Patriots because they haven't pissed me off yet this year. I'm also going to take the Patriots. This is where I said Zach Wilson, not the guy. I think the Jets might go and try to get a veteran quarterback soon.
Yeah, I learned my lesson after last week. I took the Jets against the Cowboys. I said maybe Zach Wilson pulls one out. I said Dak is bad. Jets defense is good. Doesn't matter how good the Jets defense is. Zach Wilson is that bad. Give me the Patriots. Their first win of the year. Bills at the Commanders.
Paige says, the Buffalo Bills. I like them only because my friend is a fan of the Bills. I don't know how you could not like the Bills, but I also like the Bills in this game. That's my lock.
I just thought about switching my pick, but I'm not going to do it. Give me the Bills. They're going to win this game, but wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders won this game.
No way.
The Bills looked bad week 1.
No.
Bills looked bad week 1.
Yeah, week 1. They absolutely rolled the Raiders last week.
Raiders' defense is trash. This is on the road.
So is the Commanders.
Hey, I like Sam Howell. But I'm taking the Bills. We agree. I don't know why we're bitching right now.
Okay. It's fine.
Go ahead. Next. Oh, sorry. I forgot I say the game. Falcons at the Lions.
Paige says, dude, the Lions almost won again this week. Then they fucked it up. I was pretty shocked that they were winning. The Falcons. Where are they from? I said Atlanta. Said they're kind of built different down there compared to Detroit, which I think is false.
What?
Said let's go with the Falcons. Actually, let's go with the Lions. Let's root for the home team this week. I'm going to take the Falcons.
First of all, I don't know what she means by that with their built kind of different down there compared to Detroit. But I'm going to let that one slide.
I don't know. Also, the crime rate, I'm pretty sure, is higher in Atlanta or in Detroit if that's the way she was going.
I don't know. But I just also want to mention that she took the home team last time the Lions played. It didn't work out. But that's fine, Paige. No big deal. I'm taking the Lions, too. I couldn't take the Falcons because it's my team for one, and two, I don't want them to lose this game because I might have to find a bridge and jump off of it. So give me the Lions. Also,
I will say the Falcons' defense is much better than people think it is.
That's fine. The Lions. I would rather play a team that has a good defense than a team that has a really good offense because our defense is so bad. I am afraid of Bijan, but I'm not afraid of Ritter or
That's
Drake
fine.
London or Kyle Pitts. Second of all, I've never drafted Kyle Pitts in fantasy. I did this year. I finally tried it. Awful decision. He sucks. Incoming from Sid, by the way. I asked her if she wanted to say anything on the pod because I just thought it would be funny because this is the one part she listens to as well as the recap. And she said, I apologize for taking up your entire weekend away from football for a wedding for my friend you've never met. So, Sid, I just want to say I really appreciate that. But I am excited for the open bar on Saturday. Sorry, continuing. Texas at the Jags.
Paige says, I really like the Hook'em Horns, but I forgot the man with the long, beautiful blonde hair plays for the Jags, so I'm going with them. I also like their colors. Very unique, very different. I'm also going to take Trevor Lawrence and the Jags.
Love the
they'd
Jags
bring back
colors.
the
She's
two-tones.
right about that. They also have a pool in their stadium. Don't know if she knows that, but give me the Jags, yeah. Chargers at the Vikings.
This one might be my favorite of the week. Paige says, I'm a Ram fan, but I think the Vikings are going to win. Sorry, Rams. They just haven't been the same since the Super Bowl. After a little bit, I informed her that it was the Chargers, and she said, wait, I was confused. Can I choose the Vikings? And I said, you already did. And then she said, wait, who are the Chargers? Oh, the Lightning Bolts. I thought that was the Colts. Wait, who are the Colts? Oh, the upside-down shoe thing. Oh, okay. Now I'm confused. I stand by my picks.
Wait.
So
she's taking the Vikings.
She is on the Vikings. I'm on the Chargers.
How did... She somehow starts talking about the Rams, but then she's like, oh, it's the Chargers? And then she somehow brought up the Colts.
Yeah. She thinks of the Colts and the Bolts. So she thinks lightning bolts with the Colts. Fair. And I said, that doesn't make any sense because the Chargers, a charge, electrical bolt. A colt is a type of horse. And she said, no, that doesn't make sense. I said, yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that was probably my favorite one yet, just because how all over the place it was. Did you say who you're taking?
I'm on the Chargers.
Okay. I've got the Vikings. Haven't learned my lesson yet. Or no, I had the Eagles last week, so that's okay. But they have to win eventually. They're at home. It's not prime time. Chargers haven't looked great. Their offense looks good, though. But I think the Vikings can keep up and win, so I'll take the Vikings there. Panthers at the Seahawks.
Paige says, this one's always difficult for me because I want to root for the Panthers, but they're never good. Historically, I think. So we're going for the Seahawkers. I'm also going to take the Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks as well. I took the Panthers the first 2 weeks. They lost. Seahawks beat my team last week. General rule of thumb, I guess, is when the Lions lose to a team the next week, I'm going to take that team to win. So also the Panthers just bad. Wouldn't be surprised if they won, though, because now I'm changing my mind. Cowboys at the Cardinals.
There was a literal gasp. She said, I can't do that. I can't pick. I think I love the Cowboys more than the Cardinals. That's so hard. That's like picking between Tootsie Rolls and M&Ms. I don't like that. I want them both to win. But she is taking the Cowboys.
So
I told her she could take a tie, and she said, they're not going to tie. And I said, well, you're probably right, but there is a chance. There's always a little chance, but
before you say your pick, I want to mention picking between Tootsie Rolls and M&Ms, easy choice there.
What is it?
M&Ms. Tootsie Rolls are like you're eating a piece of cat shit. I'm not going to lie to you.
I don't know.
I'll eat a Tootsie Roll over here and there, but M&M's versus a Tootsie Roll, yeah, it's M&M's every single time. So I hope in this situation the Cowboys are M&M's.
I would assume so.
That's like,
I don't know.
That's crazy. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Your pick.
I'm taking the Cowboys.
Me too. That's an easy one. The Cardinals are going 0-17. Bears at the Chiefs. Another easy one.
Paige says, Chiefs, I don't like the Bears, but the Chiefs have been horrible. I told her that they won, and she said, oh, I just think that they could do better. So I'm taking the Chiefs. Also, she's on this conspiracy that Taylor Swift is out to ruin Travis Kelce.
I've seen some shit about that.
She's an Eagles fan.
Yeah, I've seen some shit about that, but I haven't looked into it yet. I forgot to mention. I'll bring it up later when we're doing roulette. But anyways, I got the Chiefs. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears cover this game. Like, how perfect of a thing for the Bears to suck so bad and then lose by like 4. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Steelers at the Raiders.
Paige says they played my boy again, so we're going with the Raiders, we're going with the Raiders again, baby, until they stop playing him. And I hate the Steelers. They kind of sucked last night. They were out there playing hot potato more than they were playing football. I'm taking the Steelers.
Did you inform her that they won the game?
Yes.
Okay.
But she saw the fumble play.
Yeah. I got the Steelers too. I'm pretty sure.
I hate that you're on the Steelers.
Why is that?
Because I wanted this to be another makeup game here.
I don't
makeup. Extend a lead because I'm in first.
I don't like the Raiders. All they have is Devontae. I don't like Jimmy G. The Steelers' defense is good, so I had.
Well, they might not have Devontae this week.
No, they said he's going to play.
Oh, okay.
Rams at the Bengals.
Paige said, uh-oh. I told her that Burrow might not play because of his injury. She said, well, this one is hard too, but as I said previously, I'm a Rams fan. Go Rams, baby. I'm taking the Rams.
I would like to ask you, first of all, can I take the Bengals, but if Burrow doesn't start, I get the Rams?
No, I think you have to decide now.
That's
because I took the Rams assuming that Burrow's not going to play.
Okay. Let's come back then. I got to read the injury report.
And also because of Puka.
Let's come back. Eagles at the Bucks.
The Eagles still don't understand this whole Buccaneers thing. Can't really get behind it. I told her that the Buccaneers are pirates. She said, are you glad they're going to lose this week? And I almost didn't write that down because I didn't want to have to say that. So she's on the Eagles. I'm on the Eagles.
I'm on the Eagles as well. I would love to take the Bucks though because Baker's fun.
Don't ponder that.
No, I wasn't pondering. I was hardly listening because I'm reading the Joe Burrow info. It was aggravated. He could be unavailable. Rams defense, it looks okay. Fuck it. Give me the Rams. We agreed on a lot this week. I'm going to run through real quick and see how many different ones we have. We have the same there. You and I'm not going to look at pages. Same. One different, two different, three different. We only have 3 different games.
Yep.
So we're either,
like I'm saying, I feel like this slate is pretty easy.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Browns win though, so I got one there at least. All right. Any do not bet lists before I'm gonna load up roulette right now, but I don't have anything on my do not bet list. I actually had a good weekend. The only one I guess would be I do appreciate you because I did tell you guys in the group chat. I said I'm gonna put 5 units on Detroit, and I didn't. Thanks to you. So yeah, I guess that's the only thing is stop betting with my heart and loading up like crazy on Detroit. I guess the only thing I should do is put 1 unit max because I did lose 2 units. But your do not bet list.
Yeah, the only thing I'm adding is actually I'll add 2 things. First thing is the Lions, at least until they start using Gibbs the correct way. Mm-hmm. And I'm adding 3 things actually. AFC North matchups. That's the Steelers division, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. AFC North matchups, especially in primetime. And then I'm never betting on Georgia Southern. That way I can still, like it didn't knock Wisconsin off my list. So.
There you go. I am almost going to add our primetime friend group parlays. That's almost going to be on my do not bet list because we've come close.
It's so close though.
And it hurts. And I what I'm going to do is I'm going to put less on it. I was doing a unit, but I'm going to go half a unit because it'll still hit for nice money. But this last week's looked good. It looked good, except for Chubb getting hurt and then Jamal Williams getting hurt. Elijah Moore ended up not hitting, so at least it wasn't just those two. But I'm very close to that being a thing that I tap out of. So we'll keep an eye. All right, loading up roulette.
I think you should still give legs, just not bet.
No, I'll definitely give legs if you guys want them, but I just might not bet it. We'll see, though.
That's when it would start hitting.
I know, that's the problem. Oh, I don't think we have time.
I also...
Damn. I want to, but I don't think we have time.
So while you're doing this, I have a tip for you.
Okay.
Every time that you send out legs, I look at the odds of like what each leg is. And yours are always very close to even odds. And Javi and I both always go like high minus 180s, 90s, minus 200s.
Okay, hang on. Hold that thought because we're about to go on roulette.
Okay.
We can come back to that. 0, 2, 3, 9, 10, 12, 22, 23, 24, correct, and 30?
Yep.
Nice, got it in. I always get so nervous because I have to like look up. I'll never remember it because 10 and 12 are weird. But we are in. 19 just hit, 30 hit 3 spins ago. But that's all right. We wouldn't have done it anyways. Here we go. Give me a lightning number, por favor. Nice. We got 3 at 50x, 100x. All right, 3 at 100x.
3 of our numbers?
No, just number 3.
Oh.
Here we go.
Okay.
Ball is almost dropping. Dun, da, da, da. 36. Not our number. Really close to 13, though. Wait, did we have 13? No.
No.
All right. Well, we won last week, so that's okay. I did want to say there's only been 1 week where my 2 legs didn't hit. And the other weeks, you guys have all had one miss, too. So, and this week, mine were not close to even, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I had like Michael
I
Thomas
just know there was
bumped
one
way
time
down.
when I looked at it.
And it was the 1 week where I missed both.
Oh. That makes sense.
That's the 1 week. So, I think that's everything, correct?
Yeah.
Before we go, I did want to see what the next ball hit, just in case, if I could have just let you keep talking. It was 13.
Okay.
But we don't take
Great
13.
slate of football games this week. I honestly might start a 10-week 10K challenge for football specifically. We'll see. I would post that on Twitter if so. So keep an eye out for that.
There you go.
Because, like I said, I've been getting close to these parlays, and I think I could pretty easily put together a minus 100 or a plus 100 even odds parlay.
Yeah, and then the guy will snap his leg on turf because that's how the season's been going.
Well, I would avoid turf games.
There you go. Just do we call it the non-turf play.
Yes.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Let's hit some tanks, throw some tutties. We'll see you next week.
Peace.